Hello, everybody, and welcome to OpenExO Live. It's really good to be with you. A nice summer evening for me, perhaps not a nice summer evening for some folks watching, and definitely not for Sasha, who's with us. It might be a nice evening, but coming in from Germany. And next week, we have Oliver, also in Germany. It's been a few OpenExO Lives from Germany, not necessarily German people, but from Germany. And before we get Sasha up on screen with us, I do have a few words from some community members. The first one coming from Deborah. She just said, Sasha is a wonderful and unique person. To work with her is to have lightness in learning. She brings a rich professional knowledge that she shares without reservation. Sasha brought even more sparkle to our team. She is humble and generous, and I feel privileged to be close to her. Then from Fabrizio, I began actively working with Sasha as part of the activities of the Singularity U chapter in Frankfurt. And I can say that about Sasha, I'm immediately struck by her dedication and expertise. Her ability to design, create, and manage communities in person and remotely is, in addition, augmented by her innate empathy and care for others, with their needs and purposes. Sasha is a key team member in the creation and success of the OpenExO community game, where she demonstrated, in addition to her deep knowledge of marketing tools, and where she exhibited superior writing skills. And then from Nikki, Sasha is a gift with a mindset to build social engagement and drive traffic to projects in a community building experience. She has a brilliant mindset to collect and engage members with an intent to grow her use cases and desired results. She is multilingual, so can translate a number of initiatives into compelling campaigns that deliver. Her moxie is appreciated and utilized in our OpenExO community game, where we educate members to engage and perform in platform development. Sasha is a valued member of our team, and you should consider her a potential member of yours. And so with that, I want to welcome up Sasha onto screen. Sasha, how are you doing this evening?
Hello, Kevin. Everything is fine, thank you. As you mentioned, it's a great evening, but it's cold. It was snowing today.
Oh, wow. Okay. And so I always start out by asking the guest I'm chatting to just to give a bit of background about yourself. Tell us about Sasha, how, as deep in the past as you want to go. Some people go all the way to their childhood, but, not saying that. But tell us a little bit about your background and then how you came to join the OpenExO community.
Okay, so I've started my career with studies in linguistics and psychology and worked for many years with my students on research about mechanisms of influence of foreign language culture on the development of the student's personality. And that's when I understood that people and communities would be part of my job in the future. And then I moved to Italy, where I took another path, more about business than studies, and participated in different projects covering fields from AI to HR. And since 2018, I've been living with my family in Germany, where I served as a global ambassador and community manager of Singularity University Frankfurt chapter. And once we organized an event about exponential organizations, and that's exactly how I learned about OpenExO for the first time.
Okay. And so, I mean, quite a diverse path, which is awesome.
Yes.
I mean, I actually think it's really important and especially in the world we live in today, where there's just constant change. I guess I'm a bad example, well, a good example of changing. I studied pharmacy and now, now work in tech. So I definitely think that we're going to see more and more of that in the world we live in, where so much is changing. But one thing that's, of course, super important about EXO and the EXO model is purpose, right? And MTP. Are you happy to share what your personal MTP is?
Yes, sure. My MTP is human to human improvement for greater opportunities. And as you can see, it's extremely connected to community. Because everything we do or did in the past or will do in the future is about human to human interaction, collective possibilities, and opportunities for humankind. And I always say that people are our capital and we should invest in them, from personal culture and education to empowerment on country's level. And it's important to listen to people, to understand them and their needs, as it allows improvement not only at the personal level, but also in business, though it takes a lot of patience and courage.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. And, earlier today, I was watching a video, and it was a video about the directness of Dutch people, actually, and those different nuances in cultures, and pretty much the outcome they were trying to say is that really we need to be focusing on the humans, right? Which is exactly what you're saying. Yes, we may react or act in certain ways because of where we grew up and how we grew up, but ultimately we are all individual humans, and we tend to let society put us all in boxes, right? And then perhaps which can divide us. We're probably more similar than different, right?
But we live all together in this world, on this planet, so we need to find the best ways to communicate, to collaborate.
Absolutely. And so you said you first learned about the EXO model when running an event, right?
Running an event, yes.
About the EXO model, and having done that and understood a little bit more, what are your thoughts towards why it's actually an important model for organizations to understand?
Actually, at that event, the first event we ran, I even didn't understand the importance. Yes. But I think that EXO model will give you a new approach in understanding your business and its development. Time progresses, and so our ways of doing business. We don't do door-to-door selling because we have all necessary tools to reach our customers online now, which means worldwide. So our businesses are not linear anymore. Many of them are even not top-down. And managing levels are willing to have insights from different teams and people, and now it's also DAO that plays an important role. So I think that EXO model knowledge will definitely change the mindset you apply to your work. And changing your mindset first is important for your business success. It's essential in some countries, even here in Europe, where ways to do business sometimes feel old-fashioned and based on a way it was done in the 70s or 80s. Like, I know a friend of my cousin who has a store, so I need to call and sell him something, and then he will recommend me to his partners. And I believe that EXO model is the right point to learn about for reorganizing business ideas or projects and bringing them to a higher level. For example, it helped me find weak points in my clients' projects and focus attention on developing appropriate strategies to strengthen those points.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And the thing though is, you have a model, right? And it's it's outlining different attributes that organizations can leverage, but organizations ultimately are made up of people, right? And so how do you sort of take that human-centered approach in making sure that the organization is able to leverage, EXO, but still, that has that human sort of centered approach, as opposed to, just thinking very like task driven. And we want to implement this model.
Yes. So as I always say, businesses are made by people, for people, and with people, because people are everywhere, inside the company, outside the company. There are your customers or your employees, for example. And as you know, nowadays companies and startups are willing to invest in their customers, to put people on the first place rather than sales and company's vision of the business. So you don't just sell a service or a product you think the customer want or need, but you ask first your customers whether this service or product is desired or needed. So it's about understanding people's perspective, language, values, goals, or needs, and then tailoring your marketing and communicating strategy accordingly. Because people, as existing and future customers, for example, play an important role for business, not only because of company's profit, but they can generate ideas like the famous Lego community, let's say, provide valuable feedback about their experience, and sometimes they can even destroy a company or a project if the level of provided service is low and the company doesn't care about customers' needs. And frankly speaking, it's not always easy to implement human-centered approach into projects, as there are still managers who don't see the value of people and try to importune customers with something they don't need or don't understand. And here we come back again to the question of personal and the business mindset that needs some fresh air to be changed. And for example, in my latest experience, I witnessed an agony of a community idea for a project in energy industry field. And this idea died almost immediately because the main concept was not about helping local businesses understand better current risks and find solutions by providing, for example, essential information, specific webinars, or putting experts in contact. But it was about increasing profit of the company, attracting businesses in need, and selling them supplies. So this failure would have been avoided if marketing and sales teams, together with local managers, had analyzed better their customers' needs and pains. So putting customers, people, at the center of this idea, not profit.
No, absolutely. And I mean, it really is, also can hark back to that purpose, right? If your organization sees its purpose as sort of only shareholder value or only profit, then you are going to make decisions based on that, right? Again, exactly. I guess why it's so important to really drive the idea of massive transformative purpose, not just as a slogan to put on a wall.
People still confuse MTP with let's say a brand logo or a brand motto or something like that. So there is still a bit of confusion between MTP and just brand slogan, in my opinion.
No, absolutely. And people also don't, I mean, many organizational leaders don't see that if you have a really strong MTP, you can attract a community of people who believe in that purpose, right?
Absolutely.
And that's one thing that I think within the OpenExO community, this idea of transforming the world for a better future, creating a better future, leveraging technology and exponential thinking to do that, it brings people together, and people then are willing to do things for each other and for the community. How would you say your interactions have been within the community, meeting people from all around the world?
Oh, let's say that I've started to be more active in my OpenExO experience in autumn last year, because first I participated in editing Luca Leonardini's book, Codify Your Purpose. And it was a very nice experience because I love working on books and articles. And second, I was invited by Nikki to join the group working on the development of the OpenExO community game, where I try to figure out the best ways to engage community members, organize newsletters, and some content inside the game, like, for example, language distribution. And last autumn, I also took an EXO consultant course that helped me align with my clients' needs and their projects. And I enjoy a lot, actually, this community. I enjoy the insights of people from different parts of the world, because a lot of members have really incredible curriculum, like personal curriculum, personal culture, and working experience, and it's really amazing. It's really amazing to be here inside the community and to learn from all the members.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite crazy because we are mostly virtual, right? And some community members have maybe connected. I mean, especially some folks in Europe where you maybe things are a bit closer and you can actually connect in real life. But there's some community members that I've been working with for so long. I really feel like I know them, but I've never met them in real life. And often when you do meet the people in real life for the first time, the first reaction is actually, hey, like giving someone a hug, and then you think, hey, I've never actually met this person, which I think is something that can be quite amazing about the world we live in.
Yes, but you already know this person because you have worked, you have been connected in some ways. So it's yes, now exactly. It's a little bit strange. I agree, because all the work that is done online, for example, it connects team members from different parts of the world.
Yeah, which hopefully means we are getting reminded every day how we're more similar, and we're one humanity. But I wanted to, you mentioned, I mean, we spoke a little bit about the community game and one important part of running an experiment like that is actually getting feedback and iterating. Can you share a little bit about that experience, what you potentially learned about that, perhaps some of the failings and some of the wins?
Well, as I mentioned before, I'm part of a group that works on the development of the OpenExO community game, and we are in 7. All of us play a significant role in advising and decision making. So we work on the game development, and it makes us a product-led group. And let's say that the game is done by people, for people, and with people, once again. And developing and releasing rapid prototyping, applying gamification to learning path is a vital part of the game. But for delivering the best service, we need our users' feedback. I personally read feedback to understand what was delivered at the highest or the lowest level, what users found most useful and what not, what our users would like to have to be motivated. So the game's users, our community members, offer us, in this case, a complete analysis of the product and features. And as you know, we are at the point of designing the season 2 for the game, and following the logic of human-centered approach. We need to know what players liked and disliked about the season 1, what can be improved and added in the future. And sometimes opinions can vary a lot even inside the team, and for us it's important to find the right way to understand users' needs and address them. Mm-hmm. So in our case, feedback allows both product and users' growth and engagement, as users feel appreciated and heard. And it also helps us a lot to correct and redesign features and structure when needed. And I can say that community game is not just a name, but the real collaboration between our community and development team.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, it's, yeah, I mean, it's not, when you said everyone doesn't necessarily always agree, right? And
Yes.
it's quite difficult even when you are looking at real data, right? Because sometimes it's like data can be interpreted in different ways, and so it's always
Yes,
so
that's
interesting,
true.
right? I think that this idea of being only data driven has a ceiling, I think, where having nuance and intuition together with data is important, and that's sometimes difficult, right? Because we say, dashboards is an attribute of EXO, right? And so being able to track things is really important. But then there are those times where maybe intuition and sort of nuance is important.
Yes, especially in interpreting users' feedback. It's a sort of art, actually, because sometimes you have a proactive feedback when user don't just complain about something, but bring a problem to the light and gives a full insight, and even sometimes brings a solution to this problem. Like, hey guys, I would like to do it like 1, 2, 3, some points, maybe offering some connections with professionals or something like that. Sometimes users' feedback can be just complaining, something like, I don't like this interface. Like, okay, me neither. But but unfortunately, it just goes in this way.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, and to understand what people really mean, what they really want, sometimes it's challenging.
Yes.
And in my opinion, it's important that we work in the team on this game, because in this case, all team members can give their insights and provide also their feedback on the features on the game interface and other things. So in all this mixed way, we can find a perfect solution for interpreting the user's feedback.
Absolutely. And so pretty much with that, time has come to an end. And I always ask as a last question, if there's one thing that you could share, only one thing, what would it be for the folks who are watching today?
I would say, remember that life is short, so do not procrastinate on your plan and ideas, because I'm famous for procrastination, so don't do like me. And the right time is right now, so don't stop learning new things, because it will keep your mind open and enhance your personal development and culture. And also be kind to yourself and everyone else.
Awesome, Sasha. It's been really wonderful chatting to you, essentially for the first time. Really good to meet you. And thanks for everything you're doing, helping the, the community engagement there with the game. And yeah, hopefully we get to chat again soon.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
Awesome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So great chatting to Sasha today. As I said, next week we have Oliver, and we look forward to seeing you then. And with that, yeah, we'll see you again next week.